I've got this tweet from Ezra Klein where I think it perfectly exemplifies exactly what the Democratic Party is and why they're so happy about this. Now, again, I'll stress, they are losing their minds, but yes, they're happy. It's performative. Oh, the fascists have taken over. La resistance must rise again. It's exactly what they want for their grift because they're offering up nothing substantive to the American people to fix their problems. As exemplified by this tweet, I believe is greatly exemplified by Ezra Klein. Now, look. I'm of two minds on this. I think it's fair that Democrats do a post-mortem and try and figure out where they went wrong and how they can win. But me, I don't care about politics. I got two guys standing in front of me, and one guy's like, hey, I got a plan. Want to buy it? The other guy's like, I got no plan. Let's be angry together. And I'm like, I'm buying the product from the guy who says he has a plan for me. I don't care about your political party. When the other guy then says, I got to figure out how to convince this guy to buy from me. I say, my dude, how about you actually just do the right thing and maybe I'll come around.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now, and let's talk about how the brain rot is taking over the left. We'll come back to what Tim Pool mentioned in the beginning of this video where he's talking about information ecosystems and how the left is trying to figure out how to get out of their own bubbles by creating their own bubbles. They didn't understand what was happening in this election, so they're going to go further inside their own bubbles. It makes no sense, but you are seeing it here in the great state of Alabama. I have reached out to multiple people on the left to try to talk to them about what happened in this election and what could happen down the line. None of them want to do that. Because you see, it's scary to go on Mean Dale Jackson shows and talk to him about what's going on because he might be mean to them, which of course they could just be mean right back. That is one option. Or they could cower like Tabitha Eisner, the number 2 Democrat in the great state of Alabama. I don't think she's particularly smart or effective in what she does. For some reason, she thinks I'm going to be mean to her because we disagree. And I think that's part of the problem the left has right now. They demand 100% agreement or I'll never talk to you again. And there are some people like that on the right, but it is overtaking the left. Look at Tabitha Eisner's latest tweet. Now, it comes from Alabama Reflector, which is just an absolute grifting website that can't be doing that good. But look at what it actually says. She writes, 65% of votes in Alabama were cast for Trump, but 63% of adults didn't vote for him, either because they voted for someone else or didn't vote at all. So please remember, you are not alone, and we're going to need to pull together. Now, the thought process here is almost comically childlike, which is probably one of the reasons why she doesn't want to come on the program. Anyone looking at that can make the point very easily that a non-vote is a decision. She thinks that if you took all those people and I guess put guns to their head and told them to go out to vote, that they would agree with her, which is clearly not true. And if you go and look at the piece she is referencing from Brian Lyman, the king of brain rot, here in the great state of Alabama, and look at his piece that is entitled You Are Not Alone, so the groupthink is strong here. Look at some of the stuff he suggests, the things he talks about, the things he thinks are important, the things he thinks that are winning issues for his side. Teaching inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content in schools shouldn't be a reason why you're defunded. He can't just say, stop doing that. No. You have to keep that federal funding going. Also, we have to keep all of the illegal aliens in the state and in the country. Do anything otherwise is a heinous plan to throw out tens of millions of people. And the broader point here is his conclusion that only 37% of the people inside the state of Alabama actually voted for Donald Trump. Therefore, everyone else didn't, and we aren't really the red state that we say we are. Well, too bad, Brian Lyman. This is coping, and it's dumb coping. And whoever's donating to your website, they should take their money away, because this is a loser argument to suggest that if 37% of the state is beating your brains in, that you should just go further into your hole and declare yourself the winner. That may work in liberal circles, but it doesn't work in the real world. And that takes us back to what I was saying about what Tim Pool was referencing in the beginning of this clip. He was referencing a point made by Ezra Klein. hardly a Republican thinker. Democrats don't need to build a new informational ecosystem. Dems need to show up in the informational ecosystems that already exist. They need to be natural and enthusiastic participants in these cultures. Harris should have gone on Rogan. But the damage here was done over years and wouldn't have been reversed in one October appearance. Building a media ecosystem isn't something you do through nonprofit grants or rich donors. Are you listening to that, Brian Lyman? Remember Air America, Joe Rogan, and Theo Vaughn aren't Koch-funded psyops. What makes these spaces matter is that they aren't built on politics. So in response to all of this, I open up the door to Brian Lyman, Tabitha Eisner, and guys like Kyle Whitmire, who right now is going further into his own cocoon and getting off of Twitter because I guess Elon Musk runs it. And I offer them airtime on my radio stations. Come talk to me. Let's have a conversation. Get out of your hole and come have a conversation. If you can't stand the scrutiny of Dale Jackson, a moron, then how in the world are you going to get out there and make the pitch to those 63% of Alabamians who you say agree with you, but have to be convinced to go to the polls? The answer is you can't, and you know it. And that's very unfortunate because it tells me that you don't care about reaching out. You're perfectly fine in your own cocoons because you think you benefit from them. That's as simple as this is. If it's any different than that, prove it.